again. He also said that he hasn't worked out since his last fight in November. We're in June. That's 6 or 7 months, okay? We're going to talk about all of that because Tom Aspinall also said that there's a big announcement coming soon.
Massive announcement incoming.
And we know we're rinsing this, but this is the biggest story in mixed martial arts for the biggest fight in mixed martial arts and potentially the biggest duck avoidant regarding everyone saying that he's ducking Tom Aspinall and stuff like that. He said, I spoke to the UFC a long time ago about what my future plans are. I haven't really worked out since my last fight in New York City. Honestly, I believe it's in the UFC's best interest to keep presenting me as the company's champion, not Tom. And then he goes on to say, I've just been playing the role of the company man by doing nothing at all and holding all the position. And truthfully, it's been incredibly lucrative. I've made more money off of Tom being the interim champ than Tom has himself. It sucks to see the rest of the division get slowed down like this, but that has nothing to do with me. I don't pull the strings. Well, it does have everything to do with you, Jon. You are the champion and you're the guy that should fight, that should defend or vacate. Now, don't worry, we're not going to go through all ground there and give you all the same points. But he continued tweeting. He was talking about Tom, saying Tom's basically not that special because he's got 3 losses on his record, 2 of which were before the UFC. And you know, to be fair, that's a fair point, right? Not everyone goes through a career in mixed martial arts where they just dominate everybody. And that is what Jon Jones has done, apart from maybe, say, Dominic Reyes, his last fight at 205. Okay, a lot of people thought he lost, maybe against Thiago Santos as well. But still, he was getting a little bit tired and a little bit complacent at light heavyweight. No, not everyone can do that. But just because you lose 2 fights early in your career doesn't mean that you can't learn, improve, get better.
Jon Jones recently stated that taking on a fight with GNU is a much bigger challenge than defending his title against the current interim champion. This statement immediately sent shockwaves through the MMA world, sparking debates among fans and fighters alike. The big question on everyone's mind: why is Jon still dodging Aspinall?
It's not about you, Jon. It's not about you. It's not about your life. It's not about your story. If you want to enjoy your life, if you want to be a part of a reality show, if you want to take that money and delay things and hold someone else's dreams back from becoming a reality, that is ducking. That is ducking because there is a time-honored tradition in this business, in the sport, in combat sports, in fight sports, in sports period, that the whole thing has to move along. It's not about your story. Your story is great and you're living your best life, great. Get rid of that belt. If you want to do that, great. No one will begrudge you. Everyone thinks you've done enough. You've earned enough. You've proven enough. Now allow someone else to have that same story. Allow someone else to write that same story. You are holding him back. You are holding back not only Tom Aspinall, but the rest of the division. So yes, you're missing the point. This isn't about you. It's about the belt. How many more times does Tom have to say it? He would love to fight him. He would love to be he would love to have the opportunity to be that guy. He would love it. Who wouldn't? But he just wants that belt. He wants whatever that belt signifies, whatever it symbolizes, and what it brings. It brings all the things that Jon Jones is enjoying right now, because if Jon Jones wasn't the most decorated champion, wasn't the greatest light heavyweight champion, wasn't the 2-division champion, he wouldn't be doing things like this. He wouldn't get opportunities like this. He wouldn't get the opportunity to live his best life. And now you are stopping someone else from living their best life. Do you get the difference? It's not about you. And so when the legends fought you, and I'm not even talking about when you were champ or tried to become champ. I'm talking about the dudes that fought you on the way up.
So maybe Jon's not going to come back. Maybe the announcement that Tom's talking about is Jon Jones stepping away, Ciryl Gane stepping in, Tom versus Ciryl for the undisputed belt. Because right now in the heavyweight division, I can't think of anyone else more deserving. Yeah, okay, Volkov, he might have something to say about that.
This is #1 bullshit.
But in terms of a fan favorite kind of mouth-watering matchup, Ciryl Gane, Tom Aspinall, 2 gigantic guys, 2 big dudes, 2 agile guys, 2 very, very quick guys. That's a good one. That's a matchup that I would like to.
This isn't just another social media post. It's part of a bigger pattern. Instead of facing the top contender in his division, this champion seems focused on chasing a high-profile payday outside the UFC. Jon tries to shift the responsibility, claiming, "I've shared my plans with the UFC, it's on them now." Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall's career has been put on hold, and fans are growing impatient with the constant excuses.
This is the only sport in the world you can have somebody hold your career back.
Yeah. I've been almost a year inactive with no prospects of anything. Just be ready, and we'll just let you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of difficult, like mentally, to.
Oh, yeah.
This is the fight against Jon Jones. Like, not the fight is another thing.
Yeah.
This is the tricky bit where I really have to stay switched on, stay motivated, and I'm trying my best. I'm trying. It's tough. As you said a minute ago, no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes apart from me.
Exactly. You're in the office cooking.
I train all the time anyway. Just because I've not got a fight doesn't mean I don't train. Like, I honestly can see Jon's point of view. I get it. I get it. It's just about the title for me. I just want the title, that's it. There's nothing else really matters. So
you're like, let me do my thing, let me fight.
I just want to fight.
And I think that's the respectful way to go about it. It's like, you don't care if it's Jon, and it's no disrespect to Jon, it's no disrespect to anybody out there. You're just trying to fight. I just want to fight.
Stupid. I have no idea the reason why the UFC don't really want Tom to fight anybody else other than Jon Jones. And, you know, they're saying, stay tuned. That's the message they wanted Tom to give out to people. And we had the meeting with Hunter. And they're going to try and fix the fight with Jon Jones, but we're still in April now. Still waiting for this guy to say, I'll have a fight or I'll not have a fight. And I don't really understand that. He's a fighter who should be having fights. Why is he just still sat around, not giving an answer as to whether he's going to fight or not? Tom's done all he can do. You know, he's fought in the middle of the night to defend an interim. He fought for an interim because the fight was on for him to do an interim and he couldn't turn it down. And he won that. What else?
Let's take a step back. Tom Aspinall took a fight on extremely short notice against Sergey Pavlovich, arguably the most dangerous fighter in the division aside from Nanu. And he didn't just win, he dominated, finishing the fight in under 70 seconds to claim the interim title. He did exactly what the UFC asked, kept the heavyweight division in the spotlight, and earned his shot at the undisputed championship. That was months ago. Since then, crickets from Jon. No official word from the UFC. Just mysterious tweets from Thailand, vacation clips, training videos, and now, a sudden shift toward a fight with someone who isn't even in the UFC anymore.
Where to go for Johnny? He either has to fight me or retire now. If he does retire, everyone knows that he will have been avoiding me. I want to fight. Absolutely, I want to fight. If that's against Jon Jones or not, I'm just waiting on a date, man. Dana White's come out this week and said that Jon Jones is happy to do it. I've been in the rooms with the UFC and they've told me it's happening. I'm not chasing Jon Jones. The reason I want to fight Jon Jones is because he's got the belt. He's #1 heavyweight walking around the planet Earth. But we need to find out who the guy is. If it's not Jon Jones, get out of the way. I'll fight someone else. Happy days.
And of course, it's been pretty interesting, all the stuff that Jon Jones has been saying to the media this week. And I'm sure there's more to come, but check out these.
You're beating guys who aren't even champions and you consider yourself a champion. He's not a champion.
So Jon said I need to fight more champions, but this is the problem I've got. Jon is the champion and he won't fight me. And he says that he won't fight me because it's too much of a gamble.
Aspinall to me is no difference than an Owen St. Prude or Dominic Reyes or Anthony Smith, being like just another up and comer that's exciting right now. And I'm not into gambling my legacy for what's exciting.
And Jon, if you're not into gambling your legacy, that to me sounds like you're scared of losing against me.
Here's the issue. Jon claims he informed the UFC of his plans. But if that's true, and he never intended to face Aspinall, why hasn't he been stripped of the title months ago? Meanwhile, the interim champion, the fighter ready to drive the division forward, has been left waiting on the sidelines while the reigning champ pursues other fights that stall everyone else. This is why fans are frustrated. The UFC promotes itself as a platform where the best face the best, rewarding activity, momentum, and standout performances. Yet with Jon Jones, it seems the rules suddenly don't apply. Any other champion in this situation would likely have been stripped, and any fighter avoiding the top contender for this long would have lost their belt.
Elite as a heavyweight. A lot of the heavyweights, they're good, They're very strong, they're powerful, but they're not as quick and as agile and as technical as Tom. Tom's the whole package. You know, he's like, there's a fighter called George St. Pierre, who's one of the greatest to ever do it. Tom's like a heavyweight George St. Pierre. He's got no weak areas. He's got absolute knockout power, super disciplined, super agile on the feet. He finishes everyone really, really quickly. However, he hasn't gone up against somebody like Jon Jones because, as I said, the competition in the heavyweight division isn't necessarily there on a technical level. Jon Jones is. And Jon Jones has fought way better competition than Tom. That's just a fact. But Jon's never fought anyone like Tom either. Jon has never fought anyone the size of Tom and that can generate that kind of power. He had 2 heavyweight fights, one against Cyril Garner, who took him down really quick and he choked him out. And then he went up against Stipe Miocic. He was really good and, you know, he had a good little go, but he was 42 and he hadn't fought for a while and he's getting on. Tom's 31 in the prime of his life. And I would be very surprised, and this sounds disrespectful, but I'd be very surprised if he got out the first round.
An idea. He was the one who delayed till Francis was out the fucking door. He could have fought Francis a long time ago. If he'd just taken the chance of going up the heavyweight earlier, we could have had him versus a prime Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez was 240. Jon Jones is 260, 265. And you're telling me Cain Velasquez was too big for him? What a load of shit. Stipe Miocic could have fought him in his prime, another one who was no bigger than Jon Jones. So when he's giving it the big and being like, oh, well, people always think someone's going to come and dethrone me. And yeah, I get the narrative. That was the way at light heavyweight. There was always that next guy coming up. But you ain't never fought an animal like Tom Aspinall, who is as quick on his feet, who has the speed that he does at 260 pounds, who has the heavy hands that he does. You have never been in there with a beast like that. It's just not happened. I'm not saying that means Aspinall wins, but for people to do the Tyson Fury thing of going, oh, well, he's always won, so therefore he always will win.
Jon isn't just any fighter. He's the UFC's golden boy. And now, it seems like he's being shielded from a matchup that could finally challenge his reputation. Tom Aspinall isn't like the other heavyweights Jon has faced. He's not a slow, predictable opponent who falls into Jones's rhythm. He's young, explosive, intelligent, calm under pressure, and dangerous in every aspect of the fight. Ask any top analyst or devoted fan. This isn't just hype. Aspinall represents a real threat to Jon.
Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who just won the interim title. He's phenomenal. And he is, again, the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see like he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
I want to see it so bad.
Jon was shitting all over Aspinall, saying that
I think that's a bad way to go.
He was lucky that he blew his knee out with Curtis Blades because Curtis was teeing off
Doing
on him.
well.
Unless Jon avoided him, unless Jon used his wrestling to avoid exchanges, you know what that's all about.
Correct. It's called the Shop Shutdown.
Shop Shutdown.
I saw a 7-part series on
Cyborg.
it. Yes. The Stipe fight, which is just like, it's a weird thing.
Aspinall's an athlete, man. He's such a good athlete.
Freak athlete.
Very fast. Very fast for a heavyweight.
So fast.
Yeah, but we felt the same way about Cyril Gane.
Yeah. But
Cyril Gane doesn't have wrestling, doesn't have jiu-jitsu. Aspinall's like legit on the ground. Very legit on the ground.
So legit that his dad owned a jiu-jitsu gym. His dad's a black belt. He started doing jiu-jitsu at 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Aspinall is past the first round, right? Because we've seen him. He looks so fast. He looks, you're like, nobody moves like him. He looks like a younger Cain.
Right.
But he just keeps knocking these guys out so quick. So I'm like, let me see him past the first round to see if he has that cardio as well.
It's a bit of a problem for him, right? Because he has not been tested in that.
And Jon is fully aware of it. That's why many believe he's sidestepping this fight. It's not about fear. It's about strategy. Jon has always excelled at playing the long game, carefully choosing matchups, manipulating timing, public perception, and UFC politics to his advantage. From his perspective, Why risk a dangerous fight against a rising star when he can pursue a high-pay, low-pressure legacy bout instead? But the MMA world doesn't have to accept that. While Jon plays chess, Tom Aspinall's career is essentially on hold. The interim title means little without the opportunity to fight for the undisputed championship.
Jon Jones or Tom Aspinall. So if you don't know MMA world, sorry to bore you, but Tom Aspinall is the UFC's #1 right now. Jon Jones is, he's seen as the best MMA fighter on the planet. Dana White's got a massive for him, says he's unbeatable. Honestly, I think if you put Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall in a room and said one man leaves, I think Tom Aspinall leaves that room. I genuinely do. I think Jon Jones, I can't badmouth the guy. He's got an amazing record, but he's definitely ducking Tom Aspinall, 100%. And I think he's even said he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall after his next fight. He's pretty much going to retire after this fight, so he's ducking Tom Aspinall. He can say what he wants, but actions speak louder than words. So there we go. Anyway, the answer to that question is Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is kicking Jon Jones.
When you're an interim champion, they only make an interim champion when the champion cannot defend the belt. So for Jon Jones, he couldn't defend the belt because he tore his pec muscle. So the interim champion means he should be fighting the champion right off the bat. That's not the case with Jon Jones, right? Because Jon Jones is going to fight Stipe Miocic. So the interim champion is supposed to sit there and wait. But by law, in the regulations, once Jon Jones steps in the cage, he is stripped of his interim champion because the champion has returned. There is no longer for an interim champion. What is the point of having an interim champion when the champion is ready to
Tom Aspinall is in his prime right now, yet the UFC is letting it go to waste while waiting on a champion who hasn't defended his belt in years. The frustration is growing, and even Aspinall has spoken out. He's done defending a fake title. He doesn't want to be the placeholder holding the division together while Jon collects paychecks and avoids serious challenges. Fans are rallying behind him, with petitions circulating online demanding the UFC strip Jon Jones if he doesn't defend his title before year's end. This isn't just a delay, it's an entire division being stalled. Contenders are ready, the future is ready, and everything is stuck behind a champion who might never step back into the octagon.
When you look at Jon Jones, would you say it's a money thing or not wanting to fight you thing, or do you think it's a combination?
I think I'm a bad matchup for him, to be honest.
In my opinion, I think it's a huge risk. You're younger, you're athletic, you hit hard, you pose problems, we don't have much data on you. Okay, if I was to fight Tom Aspinall, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, he's very fast, he's very athletic, light on his toes, he blitzes across the void. So if he gets across the void, can I take that shot? A lot of people have not been able to take that shot. So if he gets across that void, if I get hit, I might go fucking down. That happens, you become the biggest fucking star ever. You just slayed the GOAT. Or maybe he wants $30-40 million.
Tom Aspinall? God damn. It's like you risk going down as no matter what, you don't have to fight again. Greatest of all time, people will say that. You're the greatest of all time. Greatest of all, Jon Jones. Or you risk it, go fight Tom Aspinall, possibly lose, and then it's like, he was the greatest. Then they're saying, yeah, but he wasn't in his prime.
He's the fastest, quickest, most powerful heavyweight on the planet. He's the favourite against Jon Jones, and no man alive can beat Tom Aspinall, in my humble opinion. And that's with the greatest of respect to Jon Jones.
Toe came out of his skin when he fought me. He wrapped it himself to go to the press conference. He didn't want to miss his press conference. So he wraps it himself because the doctors refused. That's inappropriate treatment. We're not going to do that. We're taking you to the hospital. This is a tough guy. And when it comes to grit, and you gotta have it, we know for sure that Jon does. Now, that doesn't mean that Tom does not. But we don't know that. And we don't know that those punches are as hard and as fast with equal accuracy.
And still, if Jon does make a comeback and this fight finally happens, it could be one of the most incredible heavyweight title matchups in history. Jon's unpredictable striking, sharp cage IQ, precise timing, and solid takedown defense against Aspinall's raw power, blazing speed, calm composure, and finishing prowess. It's a clash made for fireworks. This isn't a fight that's likely to go the distance. This is a battle, but that battle first has to be made.
I think the Aspinall-Jones fight happens.
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
He keeps saying he doesn't want Aspinall.
Aspinall need that fight. I don't need it. When you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to make winning that fight if it's not money. But for Aspinall, that will be everything.
Would you rather see him face Aspinall or would you rather see him face Pereira?
Aspinall will be a more challenging fight because Aspinall responds to a ground game better than Pereira. Aspinall will respond better in wrestling than Pereira. And he can do whatever he wants.
Tom Aspinall fight, let me tell you this. It's a fight I don't need to see because I love Aspinall. I think he's a phenomenal. He's in the heavyweight division. He has grappling, wrestling, incredible striking. You don't see that with heavyweights. Jon Jones is years ahead of everybody, especially at heavyweight. I want Jon Jones to retire unbeaten, and Aspinall goes on to be the next big thing. Jon Jones being the warrior that he says, pay me enough and I'm doing it.
If I give him the opportunity to fight me, I want to say it, I want that money.
Aspinall wants it. One of them has to lose that fight. You look at it and you go, Aspinall's probably going to win. If you ask me that, I say, no. We've said that so many times with Jon Jones, and it makes it look easy. The world wants to see this.
Jon Jones will smoke Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall is athletic.
Aspinall is a great fighter.
Yep.
He's a good champion.
Aspinall. Yep.
Jon Jones will smoke Aspinall.
Yeah.
Smoke him.
I can't wait to see. I hope it happens. That's the fight that needs to happen. I think Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones needs to happen.
Why do you think there's so much friction there? Why do you think it's not happening? Why? Because we see so much.
I think Jon Jones said he wants $30 million.
If UFC were to pay that, I'm sure they could figure out a way. You think he would do it?
Of course they could pay. They just reported earnings. Give me the exact numbers what their earnings was.
UFC brought in 1.4.
1.4 billion. We're in a situation where the company wants something from Jon Jones. They want Tom Aspinall to fight Jon Jones. Jon Jones says, I would like $30 million. Can you guys pay me? Yes or no? No, Jon Jones, we can't pay you. Perfect. The fight doesn't even happen.
I think that the UFC don't like to pay that type of money because you know how hard it is to train for MMA.
Right now, all indications suggest Jones is eyeing other opportunities. So, what happens next? Will the UFC finally force Jon to defend his title or strip him? Will Tom step away from the interim belt just to stay active? Perhaps taking on someone like Cyril Gane? Or will this devolve into yet another wasted era, where politics prevent the biggest fight on the table from happening? Whatever unfolds, one thing is clear: Tom Aspinall deserves better, and the entire MMA community is watching closely.